Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the MMA Rundown. I'm Drew Shannon.
I'm Albert Cameron.
And we have got another action-packed edition here for you. This week, Albert, just tell them what they can expect.
Well, we got news. We got the notes, of course, of all your favorite local fights, local fighters. We're also bringing you the MMA Rundown Scouting Report. It's a brand new year. We're going to tell you the guys that we think you should keep your eye on for this coming year.
Exactly.
We've also got the Spotlight fight. We've got email from you guys, and we always appreciate you those coming in.
And we do want to mention, of course, over the year, we're going to be making some changes to the show, adding new segments and developments, just to make the show a little bit different. Be sure to tell us what you think.
And, of course, we want to thank our sponsors, Friendlies, because they're just fantastic.
We'd have to. Also, we want to take this time out. We know it's not news anymore at this point, but we want to thank Dan the Beast Severn. The Beast, of course, announcing his retirement officially. And just an all-around great guy. Thanks for all the fights, all the memories that you provided over these many years. And, of course, Albert and I got the chance to talk to the guy. A big, tough guy in the ring, one of the toughest around, but really just the nicest, sweetest guy you could ever speak to. Just Absolutely. A great guy.
Absolute heart of gold. And I'm confident that Dan Severn actually got me my spot, not only here on the TV show, but calling fights cage side, because none of our guys at Go Time knew that I knew MMA so much as whenever I was talking to Dan. So, Dan, again, thank you for all of it. We appreciate everything you do.
We'll be back with more on the MMA Rundown. Stick around. Welcome back to the MMA Rundown. Time for news and notes, my friend.
Take it away.
It's go time. U.S. fans were treated to a replay of Dream 18, the New Year's Eve event on January 1st, as the event was aired on NBC Sports. U.S. airplay, an unexpected fringe benefit of the Glory 1 FC Dream deal. Unfortunately, I missed this because I was not in the area. I was out of town over the New Year's holiday. But I understand it was one heck of an event.
My Facebook wall absolutely blew up. Friends of mine who, I've got friends all over. We've got friends that really kind of run the gamut of folks who are involved in MMA. And they're so excited. Like, Dream 18's playing on NBC Sports. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. The one thing I think that American fans of the Pride FC never really got was easy access to the New Year's Eve shows.
Right.
Which, for Japanese MMA, the New Year's Eve shows are like the Super Bowl or the WrestleMania or the World Series of mixed martial arts in Japan.
Mm-hmm. The Final Four.
Yeah, it's huge over there. So the fact that us as U.S. fans were getting that now, it's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, now we've successfully exceeded what the first MMA boom was. Right. We're now officially larger. As a community, as fans, as programming, we're now officially larger than whenever UFC or MMA really hit big in 2005. So that is just fantastic for all of us as fans.
And of course, if I know some of the show, the cable channels and whatnot, like NBC Sports, would you say that maybe if people missed it on January 1st, that might be replayed again?
Possibly. I've been trying to catch the World Series of Fighting replay, and I have yet to catch it. But the NBC affiliate, Comcast Sports Philly, which we get, is always running. They have great local fights and absolutely love it. They've got guys out of Philly. Andrew Osborne, who's fought for Complete Devastation, was on one of these shows. So, I mean, keep watching your NBC Sports, your Comcast Sports Philly.
Check your local listings.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great MMA out there, and you don't have to subscribe to huge cable packages to witness all this.
Mirko Krokop Filipovic defeats Shinichi Suzukawa at New Year's Eve Inoki Bombaye event via armbar. Is it unlikely that we'll see the Croatian sensation here in the United States?
I think for as long as you and I have been friends, we know that I'm a huge fan of Krokop. Right. I actually had a friend bring me a Krokop shirt back from Croatia. That's how big of a fan of Krokop I am.
Nice.
To the other Krokop fans, I would say that it's unlikely we are going to see Filipovic fighting in the United States again. He didn't do hot at all when he fought in the UFC. He absolutely crushed Eddie Alvarez, which you and I saw it. We went and saw that.
Yes.
Yeah. He won his next fight, I believe, but then not so much. In 2007, he got knocked out by Gabriel Gonzaga with his own kick. So Cro Cop took some time. He's like, I'm not going to fight. Lorenzo Fertitta from Zuffa Entertainment actually flew to his home in Croatia and said, let's give it one more shot. That one more shot didn't pan out.
Right.
So now Cro Cop has been a very big fan of the Inoki Bombaye, doing some wrestling stuff with it, but also in MMA. So I don't think he has a whole lot of fights left in him. The fact is, Cro Cop's back in Japan, which that's where he planted his roots. So the fact that Cro Cop's back in Japan is awesome. The fact that he's incorporating submissions. Cro Cop is a K1 world-class kickboxer. He hit Bob Sapp in the face so hard that Bob Sapp cried. And my fact checker's out on the internet. You can check that one. I know I'm right on that one. But he hit Bob Sapp in the face so hard he cried. So it's fantastic he's coming back. To answer the question, no, I don't think he's coming back to the United States.
All right. Complete Devastation MMA veteran Dewan Dirty South Owens to make his XFC debut against Nate the Train Landwehr on February 22nd. The fight is to be televised on Access TV. If you have Access TV on your cable lineup, that's like an HD channel, right?
Yeah, they do HD movies, fights.
Used to be HD Net. You can check that out. Any thoughts?
Well, let's think about the gravity of the situation for a minute.
All right.
Dewan Owens has fought locally here.
Yes.
Altoona, Johnstown. XFC, who we've pegged to being the #2 promotion once Strikeforce goes under.
Right.
They're coming together. So now we can add Dewan Owens as another one of those fighters that people have seen locally is now skyrocketing for the bigger stage.
Right.
Dewan Owens certainly has the ability. He's got a great management camp behind him. He's got a great training camp behind him. He's racked up the wins. I think Dewan Owens has a really interesting style, especially the way that he has no problem taking a beating in the early rounds just to see what the other fighters got. And he will come back and win. So again, we're saying go to these local fights. You're going to see guys who are heading for the bigger stage.
Exactly.
We're going to chalk up Dewan Owens as another one.
All right. Coming up, the Rundown Scouting Report. We'll have that for you in just a few right here on the MMA Rundown. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the MMA Rundown. Albert, we've got our scouting report right now.
We tell everyone 2013 is going to be a big year. So we, as hosts of the MMA Rundown, we're going to tell you guys, the guys we're picking out to keep your eyes on, because these guys are heading for the bigger stage.
All right. Local guys such as Cody Lenny Karlheim.
Oh, the king of the Altoona amateurs?
This kid has got, he's got it all.
Well, I mean, a lot of the guys on this list train with Team Dignan Brumbaugh, and it's because Team Dignan Brumbaugh trains warriors.
Right.
They take guys who are good athletes, and they turn them into dangerous human beings, but still maintain them being nice guys.
Exactly.
There's been more than one source, I mean, outside of us and his trainers, that say that Lenny Karlheim can't be beat. He recovered from his loss in Greensburg. He come back and got his purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and now I'm hard-pressed to find of anyone that we could put in front of Lenny Karlheim to stop him. I don't see it happening.
Now, has anybody put anybody in front of Lenny Karlheim for Complete Devastation MMA 8, March 2nd in Altoona?
It's funny. I was just talking to the matchmaker before we got behind camera here. They're trying. Right. I mean, we want to see Karlheim on the card. We want to see all the guys we know on the card. If they do find someone to put in front of Karlheim, I really hope he brings his A game that day, because I don't see anyone stopping Lenny. All right.
Clark Young.
Clark Young is a great heavyweight prospect. Clark Young did some fights for us at Complete Devastation. He was at Complete Devastation MMA 2, where I nearly got projected from the side of the cage, because that's when I was a lowly cameraman.
See, when you're a camera guy.
Yeah, and not only did I almost get projected from the side of the cage, the lighting rig actually fell down.
I remember that, yeah.
Because Clark Young he's such a big, solid guy, and he's able to throw his mass rounds so effectively. Clark Young comes back for Complete Devastation MMA 4, where he submits his opponent in, we just saw it a couple weeks ago, submitted his opponent in less than a minute, or within the 2-minute mark.
Right.
So Clark Young, coming from Complete Devastation MMA, has gone on to Ohio, where guys like Tyler Saltzman have been out in Ohio, making bigger names for each other. So now Clark Young is obviously making the moves to get himself more established, get his name out there. I think Clark Young is going to find himself in his World Series fights this year.
All right. Dewan Dirty South Owens. We were just talking about Dewan Owens in our news reports.
Last year, you could have seen Dewan Owens for a very reasonable ticket price with Complete Devastation Mixed Martial Arts.
Exactly.
Well, now, maybe not so much the case, because now you're going to be paying larger show prices. And the folks here in Altoona are going to be able to watch that on AXS TV and be like, hey, you know what? I saw that guy.
Right.
So now Dewan Owens is, again, on a meteoric rise. He's going to be taking on bigger fights for bigger promotions, bigger stages. Dewan Owens' teammate Ronnie Bam Bam Rogers signed with Bellator. So obviously he's in league with some big names. I think he's going to be in title contention maybe the next year or two. But I think right now this year is going to be his formative year where we all on a global stage are going to know him.
All right. Paul P. Mac McAleer.
I was so impressed with McAleer at Complete Devastation 7. He fought Edward Lee, the gentleman from Ontario, Canada.
Right.
McAleer picks him up, walks him across the cage, and says, I'm going to put you down spine first, and you're going to be okay with it because I'm not going to give you much other option. McAleer had a game plan. McAleer was single-minded. He went out there and did it. I think that fight with Lee, Lee's not a can. He's not a joke. Lee is a very tough guy. He came to fight. McAleer was just single-minded in excellence, and he went out there and did it. So I think McAleer's going to get some bigger fights, and the P. Macamaniacs are going to have more to cheer for this year.
And Charlie the Madman Gathers. What can you say about Charlie that we haven't already said?
You know what Ken Shamrock, Chuck Liddell, Randy the Natural Couture, and Mark the Smashing Machine Kerr have in common?
What?
Well, they're huge names.
Yeah.
Who started out their pro careers with rough starts. Same thing with Charlie Gathers. Charlie Gathers is someone who's very, very success-oriented. So now he's taking these 2 losses. He doesn't like it. It's not sitting well with him. It's left a bad taste in his mouth. He's going to be hitting the gym very soon to go out there and train to get into his winning streak. I was texting Charlie Gathers the other day because I like to go around saying I've got Charlie Gathers on my phone. If you mess with me, you're going to get it. But Gathers is ready to go back there and go out there and do what he does best. Gathers is very single-minded when it comes to excellence. So 2012 didn't end the way that Madman wanted to, but I think it's going to come back and turn it around this year.
It's a new year, and we're looking forward to not only great things from Charlie Gathers, but all of these guys on our list. Lenny, Clark Young, Dewan Owens, Paul McAleer, all these guys, we're looking forward to great things in... Trust me, if you have never been to local MMA fights, if you just watch the pay-per-views and stuff like that, you don't know what you're missing. Check these guys out when they're fighting at a venue near you, and you're looking at superstars of tomorrow. Guys that you'll be paying big money to see later on. All right?
Orchard, Smith, Rinaldi.
I think we're sensing a pattern here. So you guys definitely got to check out these guys when they come to a town near you. All right, coming up, our spotlight fight this week featuring the 3rd and final round of Ultimate Fighter hopeful Jeff Smith and Dewan Dirty South Owens, who we've been talking about quite a bit here, haven't we?
I think it's a huge feather in our cap that Dewan Owens is fighting for XFC.
I think so.
And we really want to display why. He's very excited to watch 3rd and final round coming up right after the break.
Stick around.
It's the MMA Rundown on ABC 23, and now it's time for the MMA Rundown Spotlight Fight.
Okay, Drew. Dewan Owens' corner telling him he has 5 minutes to end this fight. He wants to keep it standing. Jeff Smith, I think he knows that if he can keep Dewan Owens down, he might have the decision victory.
Absolutely. But as long as Dewan Owens is on his feet, throwing those punches, there's still a lot of fight left in this kid.
This is exactly what we saw to Dewan Owens in the last fight, Complete Devastation. The first round wasn't his, but he came back and he ended the fight in fabulous fashion. Oh! Dewan Owens taking the fight to Jeff Smith.
He wants this, and he wants it bad.
Oh!
He knows what he has to do.
Oh, he's winding up. He's going to hit him hard, Drew.
He cannot go back to the ground. He's got to stay
Dewan
in front of
Owens
the base.
stuffed that
Dewan
takedown.
Owens is on top of him right now.
Dewan Owens is going to ground and pound Jeff Smith, make him pay for those earlier rounds. Oh, Drew, those hits are hard. Okay, now Jeff Smith, again, being the grappling expert here, can turn this around on Dwan Owens, but right now Dwan Owens is in the dominant position. Needs to decide Jeff Smith.
Crossface his head. Get up there and crossface his head because he's tired. Feet on that head. There you go.
Oh!
Hit him. Hit him. Keep him there. Keep him there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Punch him. Punch.
All I can say is I am damn glad that this cage is reinforced.
Again.
Because otherwise this action would be right in our laps right now. This is hot, heavy.
Oh!
It is unbelievable.
Oh!
Right in front of us.
Drew, those up kicks have ended fights before.
There you go, Dwan.
I've never seen someone strike from the ground like Jeff Smith has.
There's still a lot of fight left in Smith, but how much is the question?
Do not let him up.
Dwan Owens' corner telling him not letting him up. Jeff Smith.
This is sound advice.
He's tired. Kick those legs. He's tired, Dwan.
To take the legs out.
If he's kicking those legs through, he's scoring points in the edge. Oh! Elbows and punches and bunches, Drew.
Crossface. Elbow in his nose. Elbow in his nose. Crossface.
You can hear Dwan Owens' corner.
I hope our mics are picking up the sound of the impact from these shots.
I think that's all they're picking up right now.
There you go.
Jeff Smith almost had an armbar. Dwan Owens said absolutely not.
Crossface him. Shoulder block him in the face. Keep working, man. Try to get that money, son. Come on, man. Come on. He's pushing off the cage. He's pushing off the cage.
I'm telling you what, Drew, if I ever need a motivational speaker, I'm calling the Dwan Owens corner. These guys are great. These guys are great.
Let's go. Come on. Remember what you came in for. Remember what you came in for.
Smith actually has his toes locked in the cage. Now he's got him out.
Which it wouldn't surprise me if Chip Snyder called him for that. That'd be the same as grabbing on the cage with your fingers. It's an unfair traction almost.
Come on, he's tired to watch. Come on. Sit up a little bit. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up a little. Come down. There you go.
Oh, Drew, I'd say the first round belonged to Smith. The middle round was a draw. This round belongs to Dwan Owens.
They do not want this to go to the judges because I'll tell you what. I do not envy the judges.
Elbows raining down on Jeff Smith. Whoa! Dwan Owens gonna make Jeff Smith pay for that. I couldn't tell if that was the 10-second alert or not.
I'm just going to stop right now. Just I don't know if anybody can hear me or not.
Oh, my. Drew, what an incredible pro fight we're watching here. There's just nothing to say. This is two men competing against each other. They're hitting each other very, very hard.
Smith get the shots into Owens' face.
I have never seen someone be able to strike from the bottom like Smith can, but Dwan Owens is answering him perfectly.
Get the elbows. Crossface. Crossface him off.
Ooh.
Crossface him. Come on, crossface him. Keep that elbow. Elbow. There you go. Keep that elbow.
The guard of Jeff Smith, Drew, doing its job. Dwan Owens is looking to posture and hurt somebody.
Albert, we've got to be getting down to the wire here in this round.
I do not envy the judges here tonight. I have no idea who would give this edge to. Jeff Smith had the first round. Dwan Owens is owning this in spades. Those elbows have to hurt, Drew.
He's tired to walk.
Drew, I'm going to agree with Dwan's corner. Jeff Smith looks fatigued.
Just look at all you got to do is look at the face. He's about ready to go to night-night. I'm telling you what.
Now, let's not confuse fatigue with losing the will to win.
Right.
Jeff Smith is tired, but that's not to say he could have a very sharp shoulder lock.
I think we're getting ready.
There we go. There you go.
Oh.
Hammer fist. Now hammer fist.
Dwan Owens striking out of the guard.
10 seconds.
This fight has been electric, Drew.
Remember what you came in for. Come on.
Dwan Owens' corner reminding him what
he came here for.
What he came here for.
And that is it. We are going to go to the judges for their decision.
Good luck to the judges. I'll see you inside the cage.
Unbelievable. Albert, you're going to give that round to Dwan Owens.
That round goes to Dwan Owens. First one goes to Jeff Smith. The middle one might be a draw.
All right, well, we'll see what the judges think.
We'll see you up there, Drew.
All right.
Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors here tonight. There have been so many who have brought us a lot of great fights. Tom and Joe's, Lynn Steel Sales.
The judges have made their decision. your winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, Jack Smith.
Owens cannot be happy with that decision. What a heartfelt battle. There was so much heart and soul poured into the fight. Both of these guys tried so hard, but that first round and what he accomplished in the second round was enough to secure the victory. That does not change the fact that Dewan Owens is an exciting fighter to watch. He's coming back, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee that.
Well, Albert, an incredible fight.
I think you and I were talking about it during the fight. That fight really ended up becoming XFC versus UFC with future superstars. Again, both of those guys were here in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. The ticket prices were reasonable. The fight was huge. And, you know, all these guys were fighting. The Jason Royers. I think I should have added Jason Royer to the prospect list. His fight with Busfield kind of left him in a bad way, and I think he really wants to come back. So, again, the Jason Royers, the Lenny Carlheims, the Clark Youngs, the Dewan Owenses, all these guys are getting their start somewhere, and they're starting here. Exactly. And, of course, Jeff Smith, your victor in that bout. Don't forget, Complete Devastation MMA 8 coming soon. It's, March 2nd? At the Blair County Convention Center. And I've got the inside track and some of the bigger fights, local favorites. Some good guys coming the way, and I think we're going to kind of drop those hints as we lead up to Complete Devastations 8. All right, this week's email question comes from Pete in Duncansville. If we could throw that up on the screen. And Pete writes, Drew and Albert, if you could put on an MMA main event with any fighters alive or otherwise, who would it be in your main event? Wow, that's a difficult question. It is. Alive or otherwise. Let me see, I would want Zombie Severn versus Zombie Shamrock, because that would be, but they're not dead. I don't know, I would have to say that I would like to see, I'd like to see a national guy, like a legend, go against one of the people on our list, on our 5. So I mean, let's match up maybe. God, Albert, who could we think of? Well, let's say Dewan Owens or Daryl Horcher. Okay. Versus Don Fryer, Randy Couture. We could do that. Yeah. I mean, it would have to be like early UFC rules because, you know, weight classes and stuff like that, But a dream card, though. I mean, just think of some of the legends that have been in MMA over these great many years. I mean, there have been quite a few, and just to single out one card, I mean, that would you would have a pay-per-view that would last for at least a good week or two, and I'd watch every minute of it. Yeah. When I was sitting down and thinking, when I got this email, and I was sitting there thinking, like, who would I want to be? I wanted to go for epic, legendary, historic names. Sure. I thought Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki. The boxer versus the wrestler. Right. But that already happened. Right. Like, exactly. that was fantastic. So how much bigger do you get than that? But you're never really going to top Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki. I thought Mike Tyson versus Hoist Gracie. Early 90s rules. Could Mike Tyson knock Hoist Gracie out? Absolutely. Could he eat his ear? More than likely. You know, but I also think Gracie could choke him out. So if I had to put on a dream main event, I'd go right back to the 90s. And I think I just made a time machine comment on Facebook about if I could go to the 90s and live there. A few weeks ago. Yeah. I would go back to the 90s. I'd put Mike Tyson in his prime versus Hoist Gracie. Early UFC rules. Anything goes. We'll even throw in groin strikes just for grins and gigs. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Pete in Duncansville. This week's fan question. Who would be your dream main event? Let us know at hosts@themmarundown.com right here. The, I think, is some... I don't have the graphic up in front of me, but I think that's where the normally gets placed. If it's not, RJ will move it over to where my finger is right there, won't you? There you go, right there. hosts@themmarundown.com. And, well, we've got one more... Do we have one more segment? We got one more segment. Uh-oh. What's eating Albert Cameron? What's eating you this week, buddy? Well, I was mingling with the kids on the internet, and they brought up an event called Yama Pit Fighting. Are you familiar? No, I'm not. Okay. Let me tell you about Yama Pit Fighting. Yama Pit Fighting was the brainchild of early UFC creator Bob Merowitz. He said, I'm going to revolutionize MMA again because lightning always strikes twice, right?
No.
You can always set out and do the same thing over again. You're going to make it rich every single time. Bob Merowitz said, the cage is boring. We're tired of seeing guys fighting in a safe and docile cage environment. We want to make it more challenging for the fans. So what are we going to do? We're going to make it a pasta bowl with cage sides on it. We're going to make it a swimming pool, and we're going to keep all the kids out. So Bob Merowitz took this bowl. It was literally a bowl, and he said this bowl is going to keep fights from stalling. Absolutely not. You know what stops fights from stalling? Nothing. Fights are going to stall. That's the point of the referee. The referee will stand him up if a fight is stalling. We don't need Bob Merowitz reinventing the bowl for MMA. If guys wanted to fight in a bowl, they'd fight in a bowl. They'd fight in a swimming pool. They'd film it and they'd call it Lionheart, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. That would be if you had MMA in a bowl. So Bob Merowitz said, this is going to be great. You know what we're going to do? We're going to bring back the tournament format because we don't care if it was outlawed for fighter safety. We don't want the fighter safe. We want them to fight in a one-night tournament. And you know what the bowl did with the one-night tournament? It took a really bad idea with another really bad idea because the New Jersey State Athletic Commission said, well, you can have your tournament, but the guys can only fight in one round. You know what kind of fight you get in one round?
Boring.
You get a fight that ends with your principal pulling you apart and you're sent to the opposite corners until your parents are called. So now we have a fight in a bowl followed by a fight with sixth graders and we're putting them together. People paid money for this. People paid money for such a bad idea. They actually got a t-shirt for paying for the bad idea. They got a t-shirt that says, I survived Yama Pit Fighting. I didn't get that t-shirt. Drew, do you know why I didn't get that t-shirt?
Why didn't you get that t-shirt?
Because I didn't pay for it. If I wanted to watch guys fight in a bowl, I would go out to the local junior high. I would tell them, hey, this guy's talking smack about you on Facebook. Here's a bowl. Fight in the bowl. I have Yama Pit Fighting. I didn't pay a dime.
Thanks to Friendlies for sponsoring the MMA Rundown, and we greatly appreciate that, and we hope you guys will go out and grab yourself some lunch, dinner, breakfast, and maybe
Actually, can we go to Friendly so I can calm down?
You know what? No, because you're going to want to drink coffee, and that's going to make you even more hyper. You know what? Let's go to Friendlies.
Can we go to Friendlies?
Yeah, we'll go to Friendlies. I get you Sunday. Thanks to Friendlies. Thanks to everybody for watching. We will see you all here next week when we get Albert some Ritalin. I'm Drew Shannon. He's Albert Cameron. It's the MMA Rundown. See you next week. Have a great week, everybody.